for those of you who are unsure of what I don't do very much. I take a word and I add the letter confirmation in a basic layman, which means the easiest possible way, a lazy way where A is 1 and Z is 26. Then what I do, okay, is I play a game by creating different numerological calculations, okay, that will change these letters, okay, because it'll change these numbers in a certain fashion. And how I actually do it is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. So I know where I'm going to put my letters. And after I get the I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R. So I know A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. I know H is here. I already know, okay, that not only H is here, okay, but Q is here as the 17th letter. 1 and 7 is 8. And Z is here. Now this is on the cross. It is also, to design that, it must be on one of these lines, because I can no way put a line straight down in between the squares. The only way I can draw a line down in between these squares, okay, is by placing an X in a top box and a bottom box, and then I can get a straight line. But when I put that straight line, that line will automatically be cut by the minus sign over here. And when it's cut by the minus sign over here, okay, I know that plus, that cross is now on the minus line. In order for it to be on the plus line, I need it to be in between the 4 squares. This one will show me 4, 8, 12, 16 value. This will show me a 4 value block. Here we have a big X and we'll have 4 small X's. If I just make one big X, I will only have one line. These lines show up in the French terminology. You know, when we have dots in Hebrew and dots and lines in other languages to make the sound different. Well, that's what it's going to do. So now what happens if I use a multiplication of where Q equals to 17th letter, 1 times 7 equals to 7. Now I have to take what was once the Q and move it over 1. Now when we run into T, U, V, W, X, where it's the 22nd letter over here, which is the letter V, 2 plus 2 is 4. 2 times 2 remains in the same section. The 23rd letter will now move over here. The 24th letter, 2 and 4 is 6, will now be over here. And the 25th letter, 2 times 5 is 0, is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. It goes over here. So that's what I do. That's exactly what I do. Now, what are we going to talk about? So what I'm going to do next is I just want to do a little thing on designs right now. So I'm going to take out my camera and put my camera over here and show you different obligations. These are just obligations. I need to find that specific person or the programmation, okay, on my computer that I'm going to have to build in order to explain to me what I'm actually doing. Okay? But before I go on to that, I want to show you, okay, I want to show you that, can you lower that please? I want to show you that I like to play the 1-4-7 game, showing you this is the left and this is the right. The right will always recreate itself. 3 times 6 or 9 will equal to 3 by 9, 27, 2 and 7, 9. 3 plus 9 is 12, 1 and 2 is 3, 3 and 6 is 9. So it's always going to come back, but not this area over here. 1 times 4 will remain in the 4th position. 1 times 7 will remain in the 7th position. But 1 plus 4 moves over. 1 plus 7 moves over. 4 plus 1 moves over. Now 7 times 4 is 28. 2 plus 8 equals 10 and stays the same. 7 times 4, 4 times 1 is 4. So the multiplication stays all the same in this area. 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 7, 28. 2 plus 8 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. But the addition will move over one row. When we come to the second row, 2 times 5 is 10, and it moves over here. 2 times 8 is 16. 1 plus 6 is 7. It moves over here. When we add it, 2 plus 5 equals to 7. 2 plus 8 equals to 10. So none of these numbers will stay over here. The multiplication will put all the numbers here. The addition will put all the numbers here. Multiplication and addition will stay over here. And multiplication, we'll take these numbers, remain over here, but the addition telling me online and offline. Now, what I do to a number now, or to a letter, is A, D, G, J, S, D, M, V, G, 16th letter is P, and the 24th letter is X. 25th letter is Y. Okay, so we end up with this nomination here. Now, if I want to revert this to the reverse alphabet to see what its exact reversal is, it will give me Z, W, and T. So I do it this way, and I keep building and building and building until words come out. 1 spirit to the 4 delta angle. Okay, here's your 4, encompasses an area. Your 3, okay, your 3 needs 2 X's. Okay, in order to drag, we need 3 X's. We need to come all the way down. We need here. We get in between here. We get in between here. So now we have 3 and 4 equals to this 7. So we automatically need 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 4, 7, and 10, which means we start over at this one. It's a start over again. It's a repeat, or let's say it's a mirror of the beginning. Another way to do this is to just say every area X marks the spot, and X can be that value, and it's been a long time since I ran out of a pen. Okay, we can call this all the 5 area, okay, of a single area, but it's a single area, so I'm not sure how to call this area. Or do I just use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? Am I going to go on the dots, or do I call this a single area? Since I have this single area, I use all 4 as 1, 2, 3 areas. So there's ways to do this. I have not found a system yet of its own reality. Do I use the whole box and mark something and say this whole box is a value? Saying 4, it takes 4 corners, or 4 because before you get one value. It takes 4 months before you have 1/3 of a season. So you have 4 to where 6 and 6 on the dice, right? So now you get 1/3 of anything to do with 6. Now, if I was going with 3, okay, if I was going with 3, it would take 8 parts to make a 24-hour day, but everybody runs in the 12-hour clock. So we're going to go 4 by 3 equals to 12. We have 12 tribes. 4 by 3 equals to the 12 tribes. So it's always 3 and 4, which is your 7. 3 and 4, DC. 2 and 5 will create B and E, breaking and entering, and the creation of the 7th heaven. A and F, or 1 and 6, 2 and 5, 3 and 4. This is for Earth. This is for church. And I like to use this one for DC, which is created by number 64. How do we create different numbers? This one is 6 times 4. 6 plus 4 equals to 34. And that's your star system, multiplication and addition. Raphael, 7286 in a constellation of Pegasus. I showed you this, but a long video, long enough that we're going to end it right here. Thank you for watching. I'm still a little confused, and I'm just showing you all the ways and possibilities to create something through this I'm not even sure what to say. And I talked about the 4 value, the 12 tribes, and the 12 months, and the 12 hours on the clock, and the 12 hours on the clock show me, okay, show me that it's 1 year. But we need 4 years to create a block because of the leap year. The leap year tells me we need a block, so it's 3 years in 1 year. So now I need a mirror to the 3 years in the 1 year. So now I need another 1 year and another 3 years to move 3 into the center. So now I need 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3. So now I can move the 3 into the center. Do you follow what I'm saying? Here I move the 3 in the center. Sorry. Here I'm going to move the 1 in the center. Why? Because there's a 1 here, a 1 here, and a 1 here. So I have, here's my W, and here's my W. I need to create both of these scenarios. So now I need a minimum of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 repetitive. 3 years in a leap year, 3 years in a leap year, 3 years in a leap year, 3 years in a leap year. The number to the moon is 57, 3/4 of time. 31 plus 13 plus 31 is 75. 13 plus 31 plus 13 equals 57, 75. 77 times 75 equals 57, 75. The average is 76 times 76, which equals 57, 76. The spirit of 76 is the creation of the moon. And it goes on. 1 and 3 will create your altered current or artificial intelligence, and it will tell you je, which means to have, and at the same time it'll say je suis, which means I have. I have and I am Jesus. Je suis. Jesus is me. Raphael, through the moon and creation. 77 is the Christ. 74 is Jesus. 77 and 74 is 151, and that is all through Mars. And there's so much more I can talk about. There's so much more I can say, but Mars and the moon and Jesus Christ all fit in one package. We must repeat Mars and repeat Mars and repeat Mars, and we have to understand Mars and Smarties, Mars and Smart, and all these things, Mars and Art. And all these things that continuously go into our mind is because the Matrix must hear us to believe us. The artificial intelligence of the world that was created must hear us say it, must make us what we need to believe in order for it to continue to send codes. Otherwise, the system fails and we all return to the other world, and this world fails. And the world that has entrapped us for 1,000 years and more, 6,000 years, will fall, and we will be free angels. Once again, Raphael, 7286, in a constellation of Pegasus. Thank you for watching this video.